We'll go ahead and record this. I don't know if we send it to anybody else, but you all will get a copy of this. Let's go back. Okay, welcome. It's virtual for online people. Okay.
No virtual people.
We can start here then. So these are just some of the things that we wanted to go over today. And you all, being seasoned online instructors that probably do this anyway, but there are a couple of changes. One that we're going to go over is the proctoring info, which is a new process through Blackboard. Dates and links, we actually have a file, and I don't know if you all have received that file that got sent out. It's a Word doc that has calendar appointments in it. You can actually click on it. It'll add it to your Outlook calendar for key dates through the semester. So if you don't have that, it basically looks like this.
I don't remember seeing it.
So it looks like this.
Okay.
They're all key dates, and it goes through. You can see it goes through fall. There's some key dates, and you can click on these little calendar files, and it'll pop it into your Outlook calendar.
Okay.
So if you want to add that,
for those of us who are not technical, you just give us a point and click, and we can.
Yeah. Or you can just keep this file and refer back to it for some of the things that we like to inform instructors of throughout the semester. So course copy requests, where to get the course copy request forms, everything's linked. So we'll provide you with a copy of this too.
Now, during the summer, there's no classes on Friday. The school's closed. No.
I don't.
Because I know all the seated classes go Monday through Thursday.
Yeah, I don't think there are seated classes during the summer.
No, I know there are some because I know some teachers that are teaching on seated classes. No, they go Monday through Thursday. So I was just wondering, I know they usually, like at noon.
A lot of staff will leave at noon during the summer. On Friday, they just work longer hours during the week, Monday through Thursday. But each office will be open to the normal hours.
Yeah,
so somebody will be here.
Okay.
And 4:30.
Wow, this is really nice with them to give people a 3-day weekend during summer.
Yeah, we'll have staffing certainly in our office until 5 o'clock Monday through Thursday, and then 4:30 on Fridays. So 4:35 whenever we wrap things up.
Things that I screw up.
So yeah, basically, we're going to go over the welcome announcement. We'll get this document to you if you all don't have it. We'll send it to you in a follow-up email. But the welcome announcement, Dr. Bishop has suggested that everyone have a welcome announcement for their students in the online class. And if you've already done that, you know what to do. But,
and then I have an introduction, and I opened my introduction for tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
So when they're looking through there, they can at least start introducing themselves.
That's great.
And that's the only thing that they have to do, but at least those that come early will be finished with one sentence.
Right.
Yeah.
But you can put the welcome announcement right here under your announcements. And really the quickest and easiest way to do that is this new tool down here called Video Everywhere. So if you have a webcam, if you haven't used this tool yet, and I'm not sure how you're using it, Dr. Stevens, for adding your welcome announcement, but see kind of how this works. And I'll just call this one test. You'll need a free YouTube account in order to use it. So if you don't have a YouTube account, you might just step on
that was another thing that I needed to. I thought this summer I'm going to catch up, and because I've been through all of those different services, but I've just never had time during the spring.
Yeah.
And so I thought summer I'm just going to come in a couple of days a week and come over and do stuff like that.
Anytime you need to come over, we're happy to help and kind of get you started on that.
Because I just say announcement, and then I welcome to class.
Well,
and my name is such and such, and
And you can do a text-based announcement. The video sort of puts a face with a name. It's
under the
personality.
Faculty. I've got a picture.
Right.
Yeah, an old picture really bad. It's a picture piece, so I don't know.
Yeah.
But this is a way to provide a short video, just welcome if you want to do that. And you can click on it, and it loads or opens up this screen here. And you can see, once you have your YouTube account, you just click sign into YouTube. You'll grant access. And you can see now it says record from webcam. And we have a webcam up here in the corner. I'm just going to turn this on and show you how it works. So whenever you're ready to start, for some reason,
I have to come over here to get the camera.
We do have cameras here if you don't have any in your
We
office.
do. Yeah. So you could record it here.
Yeah, the little thing on my laptop.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, TikTok.
That would work.
Okay.
Yeah, that would work too.
Don't know how to use it, but I'm even getting into Skype this summer.
All right. Great. Those webcams are really cheap. If you don't have one, a USB webcam can run anywhere from $25 to $50. You plug it in. It's actually, you can see by the green bar on the right, it's picking up my voice through the webcam. So the webcam actually has a mic on it as well. But if you have a laptop, the mic's built into the laptop. But it's recording this now. You can see it's counting up. And whenever you're done, you just hit stop recording, welcome students to whatever course, hit stop. And when you hit upload, what it'll do is upload that video to your YouTube account.
And
But you can also insert it directly into Blackboard. You can see it's going to put a little video thumbnail in there. I'm just going to hit insert to show you what that looks like. And this is the area where you'll have it. It's restricted and hit submit. And there's our little intro video right on Blackboard. So it's free for
You
anybody.
have to have special things in order to view this.
Since it's on YouTube,
they
it's going to play back.
Okay.
They can even play
So
back.
they would
on
have to
the phone
have
if they wanted
the
to.
technology and the computer to take our courses, and so this would.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. It's going to be playable right through their phone, through their laptop, through their computer. And it's just a good way. The reason Dr. Bishop has encouraged that is that, like Jackie said, it puts a face with a name. It personalizes the course a little bit. And you can do this anywhere where you have a content screen like, the text editor.
Yeah, anywhere you have the
So if you wanted to provide video feedback to your students, for example, if you're grading an exam or a paper, and you wanted to provide some video feedback, you can actually do that and just say, hey.
Could I send it in an email to them or something?
Sure.
Oh.
Yeah, since now it's on YouTube.
And then that way, others can't see it or whatever, and then.
Well, in the feedback area, then others wouldn't be able to see it. It would just go to that student.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'll show you
Okay.
where this
I'm going to be here every day.
where this can be helpful or handy is I'm going to go in here and build an item now. And now you can see, the text editor with this tool. Since I've uploaded that video, I don't want to re-record anything, but if you have standard comments that you're giving to students on an ongoing basis, it's the same comments all the time, it seems like, to every student. I can now click on the Browse tab, and it'll pull up all the videos I've created, and your library of videos, essentially. And you
Kind
can
of
choose
like-
from that library.
Kind of like copy and then paste.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So these are all the videos that I've created. Some of them are for OTC, some of them you can see they're personal, but if I wanted to insert this video somewhere else in my course, I can do that. And here's some other ones that I've created that I'll insert this test video. And it's just that easy to insert videos of anything.
Well, instead of like when I do introductions, I could put a YouTube video of me talking about it instead of typing it out.
Exactly.
Exactly.
You can do all kinds of things. You can do a syllabus overview. If you just wanted to even narrate and not actually provide anything, you could just have a piece of paper essentially in front of your webcam and just narrate the intro if you wanted to. Or maybe you just put a
Picture.
picture or
Have somebody else come for the grade.
if you don't like the film,
Picture of me, picture of your crew. Yeah, I'd be like, aren't you jealous?
right? Or maybe it's module 1. Just hold it up in front of the webcam and talk. You don't like to be seen.
Yeah.
So that's how you use the Video Everywhere tool. We do, or you should also have access to Camtasia. I don't know if you all are familiar with Camtasia.
I think I heard that in one of those.
It's a photo or a video editing software that is available for your use here at OTC, and you can download it to your personal computer at home. So you can have it in a dual license. But it's a pretty sophisticated program, and we've had other training sessions about it. We won't go into that today, but if you want to dive deeper than just this video creation, Camtasia will let you do that. It's available for you. So that kind of covers the video welcome. We talked a little bit about the dates. We'll get this file to you so you can use this. This is good. And we'll update this for future semesters. You know, in 2015, we'll have a new document out there available. The one I wanted to show you now is the new proctoring process. I'm going to go pretty quick this session. So before, you used to have to go to Testing Services website, plug in all the information.
Over and over.
That changes as of this summer, and by Monday or early next week, you should be receiving, all online faculty will be receiving an email that explains this process that I'm going to show you, but it will be effective this summer. So now what you do to submit your exam information, you will go under Course Tools, and you'll have a new handy little tool here called ProctorU Instructor Tools. And I click on that. It says Send Exams and View Reports. Reports will let you see which of your students have actually scheduled to take their exam, which students have actually taken their exam in ProctorU. So that's kind of a handy little tool to take.
So I could send emails and say, hey, you know, we're getting down to the last minute, and
right.
Yeah.
your options are limited, and
Yeah. I mean, that will only show you the students who have signed up and completed their exams through ProctorU, not through one of our testing centers.
well, I had a guy in the military. You know, he asked me if his sergeant could, and I said, yeah, because usually if you're overseas or whatever, I didn't know if he was like 3 blocks from, and when I called the proctor, he said, oh, I said, where are you located? And he said, oh, about 3 blocks away from, and I so then he said, well, then he can't take it there, he's got to come here. I mean, if he's
Right.
here in town,
Yeah.
Right.
then, you know.
So if you click on Send Exams, it'll show you all of the exams in your course. So obviously you're not going to proctor every exam in the course. You would pick the exam that you want to have proctored. Now you can see that I've already sent this one, and whenever you send an exam to ProctorU, it'll show you this little button. It'll change it from Send Exam to View Sent Exam. This lets you know that you've already sent it, and if nothing has changed, you don't need to send it again.
This is just for that software called ProctorU.
This is for both.
This is
And
for both.
this is where it might be
It
a little
also means you have
confusing.
2 testing services. So you just have to.
This is where it could be a little confusing because the tool is called ProctorU, and you assume ProctorU. No, this will go to both Testing Center or Testing Services here on campus and ProctorU.
So you just have one place that you have
And
to
then
go.
the paper one that we have.
The off-campus has not changed.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's the same as.
Same process. Off-campus has not changed. Just this will replace that web form that you go to.
Right now, then, let's say I had my final exam was the proctored assessment, but I have a tab, a menu, final exam, and students go to testing services. And the final exam, they have the menu right now.
It'll see any exam in your course. It doesn't matter where you placed it in the course. This list will show all of your exams.
So the testing service will now want me to have a menu called final
So
exam.
you can still have it set up wherever you want. This is just how you send the proctor information.
Okay, for the one that you want to be.
Yeah, you can pick, it'll just list it. Even if you have it in a final exam button over here and a final exam folder, it'll still show up in this list. This just shows all the tests that
It
are
will show
in
every single test in your course. It doesn't matter where they're located in the menu. So whenever you pick your final exam or pick your proctored assessment, you should say, you'll hit send exam. It'll pull in all of the information from that exam automatically. So
You don't have to.
date ranges, length of the exam, how long it's taken, or how long you're allowing students to take it, max number of attempts, and set up what resources you want them to use. If you're not allowing any resources, no open materials, you'll just leave those blank. You plug in your phone number, so if the proctor has a question or an issue when students are taking the exam, they can contact you. And there's some areas for additional notes, permitted materials, you know, in addition to these items, and other special instructions you might offer. So this is nice because it automatically sees the exam and it pulls in the password. You no longer have to go to Blackboard, copy that password, and then go to another form and pull it in automatically.
Okay, you said instructor's phone number, so if there's a question, well, what? Can you not put in email? Because like if I'm at home, I can check and see from my telephone on the smartphone if I have an email.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know if I have phone calls.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah, you can put.
You can put that in the special instructions probably. They know, since you're an instructor, they'll know how to get you by email too through your OTC. You know. They're going to probably try
Usually on
to
the old form it says best way to contact you by phone or email.
Yeah.
And you can put that again right here. Best
Yeah.
way to contact, call phone, you know. You can even leave that blank. This is not a required field. But sometimes we do have issues when, you know, a student has driven in 30 miles, 40 miles, and there's something wrong with the exam, whether it's not deployed or there's some other issue. And it's nice to be able to try to at least attempt to get a hold of you. If we can't, we can't. We'll just do the best we can.
And then question.
Mm-hmm.
I guess yesterday I had submitted the old-fashioned way for my summer school proctored exam, final exam.
Okay.
And you said this was available this summer. If I go back to my office and then I push all these buttons and then I submit the final again, the testing services won't know.
Yeah,
Will they be confusing?
They'll update the information you already sent.
and it has a date stamped on it. When they get it, it'll have the date, so they'll know.
So the new
You'll want to go ahead and do this process for your summer exam.
Yeah.
Reason being is you've already sent it to testing services, but it hasn't been sent it hasn't been sent to ProctorU.
Yeah.
So this new process will take care of both. And if you update your exam or change anything prior to your exam being proctored, you can update it any time using this very same process. And I'll show you how to do that. Mm-hmm.
We're going in that email that you had sent us and have the new template for the syllabus.
Mm-hmm.
It had the thing ProctorU, and I have absolutely no idea what ProctorU is.
Okay.
Can you
explain it?
You know what
Sure.
that is?
Yeah, ProctorU is basically another option for students to take their exam and not have to come to OTC or a remote proctor location. What they do is they can, and it's a pay service to the students, so they have to pay a premium in order to use the service.
It's like $25, which is not bad if you don't want to have to drive in or go to.
And they can take it at their house 24 hours a day.
They're monitored via a webcam, so there's somebody on the ProctorU end actually watching them take their exam. They cannot look over here, look over there. The proctor's looking at line of sight to the computer, so they can't use any other resources unless you've allowed that.
They're recording the screen and they're recording the student's activity. So if they notice something, the student's kind of dodgy, they'll have the student sort of show the
I'm trying to push that either come here or take it.
Yeah, it's really it's really a secure way to proctor test.
It's even more secure, I would say, than our OTC testing center. Not to knock them, but they have one proctor per 10 students through ProctorU. The ProctorU proctor has 4 students.
Maximum 4.
A maximum.
Yeah, they never have more than 4 students, but they're monitoring at one time.
Plus, they're available 24/7.
Yeah.
So our testing services isn't open 24/7.
And they're monitoring 4 students within one monitor. So they're all right in front of their face, whereas if they're in testing, they could be spread apart. It's kind of hard to keep an eye on everybody.
And the student has to have that little camera phone or.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they have a webcam
They have to have a
when they use
webcam.
the service. Yeah.
So they probably know more about that than I do, because I saw there was a restriction that they had to be at least 30 miles or some kind of distance from a testing site.
Right.
An OTC, yeah.
So they'll know about all of this kind of stuff.
And yeah, that's an OTC.
Let's just kind of see if I can
Because they
open
should-
up the ProctorU. I'll show you what it looks like from an administrator's side.
Yeah, and if you go on the website, you can see the video for how it works, and they explain it. It's a really great little demo that just tells them exactly how to do it.
That's ProctorU.com.
Yeah.
Now, do I have to sign up or do anything?
No,
Is it just a
through
student?
the Blackboard, you click on it, and then the student has to do the rest if they want to take it there.
So this is a report of all of the students that took ProctorU, took their final or proctored assessment for this spring semester. And you can see the proctor actually provides notes whenever these students are taking the exam. They write down any issues that were encountered. The student actually has to show, this is how they validate the student's ID, is through the website.
And I had a problem with that because I have high school students.
Mhm.
And they didn't have an ID, you know.
Right.
And then they got back to me and they said, okay, I found out this is a high school student, and so we accepted this okay, and I said, perfect.
Yeah. And
So-
ProctorU is really great about making those sort of notes. They'll let you know anything that's happened, like, oh, the student dropped their pencil at one point.
You
Well,
know,
I figured it out.
Yeah.
You know, we had them scan the room, we didn't see anything, but it was weird.
It's really a great way for students who, you know, they'll pay the $22, $25 not to have to drive an hour to get to a proctor. and
Yeah.
take it.
Well, I think probably a lot cheaper.
Or if they have young children,
And it can be-
they can do it after they put them to bed, they don't have to leave the house. It's really convenient for students. I mean, I would have done it because I don't have to go stand in line, you know, sit in a room full of people, at my own desk, my own chair.
So whenever you've got your exam ready to go, and again, you need to check to make sure that your exam is available, first of all, before you submit the exam. Make sure that it's available for the date ranges that you want it to be available, and that you set the password properly. Everything's been checked as far as the exam. And once you've done that, then you can just send the ProctorU. And again, this goes to OTC testing services at the same time.
Is it typical?
But it's required.
So you don't want to start down.
I don't have the start date for that particular exam.
So yeah, I will tell you something.
I'll just send this one in. And it'll say exam data sent successfully to ProctorU. Here in a second, I'll get an email confirmation of that. So right there, that tells me that it went to ProctorU and OTC testing services. So that's your confirmation that it's been received. And the nice thing about doing it this way is that your exam rolls right into the ProctorU system. As soon as you get that confirmation email, students will be able to register to take their exam for your course. Unlike before, where there was maybe even 2 days, 3 day lag.
Right.
So it's really that simple, and you'll have to do that for each course you teach, for each proctored assessment you do. So
My courses are all the same, like BLS. But
individual section you need.
You have to.
okay, so if I combine them, then I just do the one.
In the one.
Okay.
Correct. If you're not sure, if you ever, maybe you lost that email, if you're not sure if you'd sent it previously, you can always come back and it'll show the information, what was sent previously. So if you change your password, if you change the date of availability, and then change the exam questions, you don't have to do that because it's not looking at exam questions. It's just looking at the exam name, the availability, and the password. Hope that's not confusing. I think it's a really easy process. It's an easier process than having to go to a different website
And
and fill
enter all
everything
that
out,
other information, yeah.
filling all that information out.
Really more efficient for instructors. It's simpler for testing. It's
Under tools, and you could create a separate button, students will be able to register for their ProctorU. If they want to use ProctorU, you can create a tool that will allow them to do that right through Blackboard.
so they don't have to go to proctoru.com. They can just
How would I do that?
I have a link online.
You just go to Tool Link, I would use ProctorU. Right there.
Oh, it's already built into Blackboard.
yeah.
Now, if students want to register this way, you need to explain to students that this is an option and it's a pay option. You know, probably somewhere in that, you know, that this is an option. You could actually even put a link to the tool maybe in your final exam folder. So if you put the final exam in there, you might just have a link to the ProctorU tool or even to their website. So they can register through this button, or they can just go straight to ProctorU, log in, register for their exam that way. So
I have that information under my lesson,
okay.
so that, you know, FYI, the Proctor exam is here, and here are all your options. Here's the form, here's the ProctorU link, here's the...
That's good. That's good. That way they can see.
This leads me into, actually I don't have a student server here, so I'm going to switch to our other server. I'm going to add that tool in here too. So if you want to see what that looks like from the student side, and this kind of leads me into the student view tool. Are you both familiar with the student view tool? No?
I think you're pretty graphic.
It's the best thing of ever. It logs you completely out and logs you in as a demo student. So you are seeing the course as a student sees it. Accurate view of what students see.
Well, but with the Blackboard, that might be able to show me, you know, it's not,
And the only difference is it adds a button at the bottom that says teacher view, so you can backseat you.
Yeah, what it's good for is troubleshooting student issues. So if students email you and say, I can't see something that you see, as an instructor, you can sometimes see things. If they're not seeing or finding what you're telling them to look for, you can log in as a student and be able to see what's happening, troubleshoot it from that. So to get to the student view tool, it's again under course tools, just like the ProctorU button. And it should be in this list. It should say student view. If it's not in this list, we'll have to turn that tool on. And in most courses it should be on now, but if it's not on, you can either call us or under customization, go to tool availability. These are all the tools that are available in this. I'll have to scroll all the way down to student view. There it is, student view application. It's probably not checked there, so you need to check it. and hit submit, and then it's going to show up on this list under course 2. So check for it when you get back and look at your Blackboard course. If it's not there, like I said, either give us a call or we can walk you through making it available. So when I click on Student View now, I am now logged in as a student, demo user. I'm no longer logged in as myself, and I'm seeing this course as a student see the course. And you can see, I can now see the ProctorU button. Click on that. Launch.
To the back.
Spinning. Okay. So this is going to verify your profile information. You can submit and take you to the next screen where you can register for your exam.
So can this ProctorU do it anywhere in the world?
Yes.
Anyone have a transaction?
And they would do that, they'd have to have a credit card.
Correct.
Yeah.
Direct pay from the student. Not doing any of the billing. Everything is handled directly with ProctorU.
If you need her.
Now, people ask me, you know, when I go through like quizzes or exams, and they'll say, how do I open up mine? Well, I can't get in the grades. Let me student do.
You can see grades,
You can see grades.
which is another reason that Student View is helpful, because your view of grades is completely different from student.
Well, if I try to go into like quiz chapter 3, and you know the student says, well, how did I get there? I don't know. Right? Because if I click on grades, right there,
Yeah.
it says non-student or whatever. I have to go down into clicking one.
This shows you exactly what the students are going
Yeah.
to see when they click into grades.
And it's very helpful for that reason.
Yeah, because I have to say, I have no idea. Can you just
Yeah. Call Blackboard.
yeah, go ask Philip.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, and this will show you, because a lot of times, because instructors can't see the grade screen, and it's so important for students, and they're seeing something completely different. This really gives you a sense of where your feedback is going to show up, how students see scores, how they access past assignments, where they see your comments, where they see the rubric. It's very
If there had been comments, you know, you'd have obviously the grade up here, 9 out of 10 points, and then you'd have feedback or comments linked. Since none of these have had any comments given to them, this is where the student would click to get your feedback. So it's kind of helpful to see it from the student side in order to direct them to where to go. But at any time, if you want to get out of student view, you can see there's a teacher view that goes at the bottom of the menu there. So you can toggle back and forth. If I go back, now it's logged me back in as an instructor. I'm back in my course as an instructor.
Maybe this big view menu button went away.
exactly.
As this demo user, I can take any one of the exams that you've created as an instructor.
Yeah, you can go through and submit an assignment, take an exam, do all of that as a student would, so you can see exactly what students are seeing. Then you can go back to teacher view and grade the demo student work, just see what a normal student, go back to student view and you can see where it shows up. And that way you see what students see.
Well, I'm getting instructor view, how do I get student view? I know how to get from student view.
Okay, you go to course tool and student view.
Okay, okay.
And then to switch back, you just go to teacher view. Okay.
So if I'm in grade book and I'm grading and then I add little comments, is that where the students can see it?
Correct.
When they pull it up? Okay.
Yeah.
So they know that, yeah.
Yeah, they'll see comments in 2 different areas. If you have the inline grader, like a file submission, and you put markup comments in the margins, students don't see those from their grade screen. They actually go to the submission to see that. But the comments that you put in that little right-hand side box, that they can see in the grade area.
Okay.
So that's a difference that a lot of our instructors don't realize.
And that's why I said like we didn't, you know, like when I do current affairs, it was weekly, and then Mr. Giddings posts this week 2 or week 3 or whatever, so that they know this is why you have this grade.
Yeah. And
Let
that's
me just see if I can do that real quick. I'm just going to answer. I'm going to upload a file to show you what it looks like from the student side. So the student would go in here, add their document. It could be a rubric, it could be the attached one. Now as a student, I've just submitted this paper. As soon as they submit it, it will give them a preview to let them know that it's been uploaded to Blackboard.
And it looks very similar to what you
That really shocked me the first time I saw it, because before,
Yeah,
in the Dropbox and stuff, I had to open it, and it's like, oh, this is so great.
Yeah.
So there it is. The student can see that the file has been uploaded. Now I'm going to switch to the teacher view. I'm going to grade that assignment. So if I go under grades, in your course, in your gradebook, if you put in student user, it will come into your roster as demo user. So they will be in your course roster. No, everybody will be able to see them, but obviously they're not participating in class. I want to now, as an instructor, go in and grade this. I don't know if you use the inline grading tool, but if I provide feedback here,
the feedback in this box down here is what will show up on that grade screen for the instructor, for the student. And the comments, if you use any of the markup tools in the preview window, they'll have to come back to the submission.
And I wondered about that because, like, we have one paper due.
Yeah.
And so I would say, like, you were supposed to have like 3 academic sources, and you only have 2, and so if you fix this and return it within so many days, I will increase the points and go for it. So it's like, okay, are you just lazy, or, it's okay as long as I got some kind of grade, or,
Right, and if you put it in the markups here, they may not have ever seen it.
I would put under grade or feedback.
Yeah, they should. Then in the grade area, maybe they just
Check.
like it's good enough.
Yeah.
I've just provided feedback here, and then I've also added inline grading, and I've added a grade, and then you hit submit.
I wasn't able to follow what you did.
Oh, okay.
That could happen.
Get back to Tim. You're usually probably providing feedback here.
I don't recall seeing those icons, so.
Oh, these up here?
Yeah.
Is this inline grading tool or not? I use it in my course because it's easy. Instead of having to download the whole document, which you can do, download the document. I can add comments right to the document right here. They'll be able to see this when I put up the grades in or grade.
Now, I'm paying attention. You didn't see those icons you're on right now. They're there.
They're there.
Overlooked them.
If
Yeah,
the students had submitted a file that previews, then those will be there.
I can go home and tell my mama I'm in something.
So yeah, and you can go back to these anytime. As soon as you type in here, it saves those comments. So you don't need to save or do anything else. But once you've done everything, you can hit submit. And now I'll go back as a student. The comments. I'm going to go to my gradebook. Out of 10. That's right here. Comments.
Comments, that's where they'll see the comments that were entered in that right-hand side box.
Now if I go back to the assignment, if I click on this, the feedback that the student has. You can also see the feedback here. They can also download this file. If they wanted to download the file with your comments, they can do it to a PDF right from here. If they want to download the file, the original file, they can do that as well.
It's helpful in accounting if you can font notes in circled areas on their paper with those tools that have been using. They probably will now. They can download that and they can have that as a reference to show them exactly where they've been.
Kind of student view with inline grading tool.
All of them there.
It's also second teacher. That's kind of how that works, and that's a great tool. It's a great resource that we can use. Not all institutions use that tool as kind of an add-on that we just.
If you ever see demo user in your grade center and you haven't used to use, I mean we did. Because we go in there all the time and we'll use it so that we can see what students see and we can see where something's going wrong. So. Or so you can walk students through and say, okay, now click on that.
Covered kind of dates and links,
Yeah.
syllabus.
As far as dates and links go, just make sure that you're doing a course copy. Make sure you go through and comb through. Make sure all your dates are updated for this semester, not last semester. And links, if you have outside links, sometimes they break during course copies, or sometimes they're just full links that don't go anywhere. So just you check through your links, give them a once over, and then make sure you have the updated syllabus.
It might be going a little bit far, but not too much. But during finals time or the proctored assessment, go into that student view tool and just check out your final exam and make sure it works. We have a number of issues where students, there's something corrupt or it's broken or it's not working properly. If you want to test your final exam, go into student view and take the final exam. You can just click random answers that just make sure you can get all the way through it.
Yeah, so you can see that all your questions are properly displayed. A lot of times if you copy and paste into Blackboard, some of the formatting will get messed up and it looks right when you're in the edit mode of the test, but when the students go back to take it, part of the question will be cut off or it's unreadable. So if you just kind of go through your test as a student in Student View, then you can see, oh, this question messed up.
Particularly if it's a new test.
Yeah.
If it's something that you've been using semester after semester, most likely it's okay, but it's always good to check. It also helps you see if the exam is available. Probably one of the main issues that we see at test time or is that the exam has not been made available for the date range and that the password is different.
Yeah. Which should be better now that we have the new way of submitting the information because it's pulling it straight from Blackboard, so we can't really get it wrong.
So we have the syllabus template. You all have the new syllabus template, I think, for the summer semester. We just updated that recently, so if you don't have the new one, you can actually just, you probably know where to grab it from our website. But we actually, the link to this recording will let you download that syllabus template as well as the dates and availability document. So we'll attach them separately and then we send you the follow-up to this session too. What else, Jackie?
I think that's just about it. It's just important to really kind of go over your course, especially the first week or the first unit, and just kind of go through it all, make sure everything's in order, and just
make sure your dates, have been changed if you have due dates. So that's something that we see a lot of too. If you get those dates throughout your course, either in your schedule.
Every time I miss one, I have to say, well, it says we have till this date. And I said, but, my calendar always stresses in bold.
Yeah.
This is for general purposes only. Everything will be updated on the announcement.
Right.
Yeah.
So I said, check announcements. And I copy and paste it into the email and say, this is what it says, so.
Yeah.
Easy to miss those dates. I try to put dates in just one place in order for students there, either in the course schedule. I know that our online department recommends having it in multiple places, but that's just, you're going to
More chances to get it wrong.
Well, because it's always week 1, week 2, week 3, so that I don't have to,
Right.
that I'll say the paper's due on this day and the proctored exam is this date, and then those are the only two that I have to update.
Yeah.
as opposed to, like the fall and spring where that's where I usually miss something because I have so many days.
Yeah. Yep. Summer's only 8 weeks, so.
That's basically it. Not any other major changes with Blackboard for summer. Possibly for fall, we might have an update, but we're kind of waiting to see on that. There are not a lot of changes even with the new update, so that's kind of where we're at with Blackboard. But we help with YouTube, Camtasia, whatever the case may be.
You're going to be here tomorrow?
We'll be here throughout the summer.
Except when you're in Washington, D.C.
That's
right.
The president. Okay, back to the original question when we started is in the new syllabus template you sent out, there was some comment made about check your calendar or something, and I didn't know.
The calendar tool is relatively new in Blackboard. Well, there was a calendar tool, but it was kind of janky and not awesome, and now it's way more awesome. So anytime you have an assessment, a test, file submission assignment, a discussion that's graded, and you put a due date in it, on that it's usually option number 3, due date, not the date that it's available, but the due date, that will create a calendar appointment on the calendar tool that's in Blackboard. So if students are looking at that calendar, again, you want to make sure that you tell them the due dates will be wherever you're absolutely, these are the updated dates are, but you want to keep an eye on those due dates, and you can check those in the course calendar. You'll have a button, it's not in this one, but in most courses it'll have a calendar button, and you click on that, you'll have a huge list of all the courses that you're in. Students will have a shorter list because they're in one of the fewer courses, but you'll be able to toggle them with check boxes on and off, and so you can check just the schools that you're
We can show you that here in a second, but I want to make sure I'm understanding what you were saying about the calendar. Are we talking about Blackboard calendar? Here's the email that went out to everybody. I was just wondering if it referred to a calendar.
Not that email.
Not this
In
one.
that email, it was the updated online syllabus template.
Oh, okay.
Okay, on the one on the, yeah, that one. And then someplace down there, it, the stuff that you had written,
We'll find a calendar of course activities by clicking.
that may be it.
That's a guideline from OCC Online that you have a calendar schedule for students in syllabus or included with your syllabus and post it in the syllabus
They
area.
actually have the calendar listed in the course navigation.
That maybe that was it. But there was some place in this place upcoming due dates. You know, when I saw that calendar, I don't know about a calendar. I mean, I don't obviously.
I had back and forth with the calendar. It's interesting that it is in the template now. We can show you how to add that real quick if you want to use it.
Because it will be in your course, and it'll be, and students will have access to it, even if not in your course, in other courses, and it will have all their course calendars, so their due dates are in there. So a lot of times students will click on the calendar and look for due dates, and maybe overlook the due dates that are posted in their syllabus or in their lesson. So it's just something to kind of keep
I would say if you don't want to use that, you don't have to use that. if you're used to your process and you have a schedule for your students to follow along throughout the semester, use that.
just make sure that students know where their due dates can be found consistently.
I have a schedule and the due dates, and we have a snow day. Very easy for me to go in and change that schedule and then send out an email to all students saying, I have the new one, and that's, then if I had a calendar, that means I have to go in and change it.
I personally do it the way you're doing it too. So The calendar, when it first came out, we had high hopes for it, but I think it can be confusing. It's been confusing for instructors.
It's confusing for instructors.
Scratch that off.
It's a good tool, but it would need universal adoption by faculty, by staff, by students. And
the other thing that's not helpful about it is you can't print it off. If students wanted to print the calendar, there's no way to print it from Blackboard.
so if you have a printed calendar like instructors have done forever and a day, then you have to make sure that both of them are the same. So
Then you're keeping it in two places.
yeah, then it's more work and more opportunities for error. Just make sure your students know where to find their due dates.
Can students print off their quizzes?
Sort of,
Not even.
not,
They used to.
they can highlight it and copy it and paste it. They can print their screen and scroll down and print their screen and scroll down. But
It's not going to be easy.
it's not going to be easy and it's not going to be complete. They always take a picture of their,
It's good to randomize your quizzes anyway, or change your quizzes periodically. As the textbooks change too. I mean,
Yeah. I used
They're
to check it,
changing.
yeah.
that's about it.
as they questions.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, yeah.
You guys feel ready for summer? Ready?
I am ready. I've already sent out to the beginning emails and introductions.
Awesome.